Hello, it's Danae with Marsha's Garden. So today I just wanted to give you a quick update. I know that I had done a bunch of videos, showed you the area where I was going to be doing my garden, and then planned it all out, mapped it all out, and the funny thing about that was, it was a fail. So it just gets way too much shade, and I don't feel comfortable having that much shade and trying to start as a flower garden. So we looked around the property, and there is water up by this house, and hopefully we can run that over. And we decided to come out here in the pasture, which is actually that corner. Right? No, I'm completely backwards. This corner right here is where I did my very first video and said I decided I wanted to do a flower farm. And I think that's really funny because now this is actually where I'm going to do a flower farm. So my dad came out with the tractor the other day and just mowed the area. You can see along that fence and then all the way down, I think to about there, and then it goes over and then back up this way. So it's still about 10,000 square feet, so it's close to a quarter acre, not quite, but that's okay because I have about enough seeds to do a quarter acre, and I know they're not all going to germinate. I'm going to have a huge learning curve. So what we don't use, we don't use, and what we will use, we will. We're going to plow it up this fall. We have a plow. We have a really, really old tractor, so I'll get a shot of that, hopefully. He gets out here and does things to help me out, and then I don't get a video for you guys, so that's okay. I don't think he wants to be on any videos anyway, so that might be part of it. And it's just nice out here and relaxing, so I think he likes to come out and do some of this stuff. It is his land and his farm and his sister's right now, but I think it's just a family-centered farm, like I said in my first video. So anyway, that is the area, and I've already started planning. I've already started mapping it out. I think I'm going to do rows going long ways, so 10 foot that way, and then just 4 foot going that way, like little 4 foot rows with 2 foot rows in between, so I can get down and plant everything, and then like a big cross section of 4 foot rows, so if we need to get anything bigger in there, we can. And then I've mapped out, I'll show that to you later, I'll tie it to this video, but I've mapped out where each plot of flowers, each 10 by 4 plot of flowers, what will be in it, and I'll go from there. I'll see what does good next to each other. I'm going to try to put perennials together, because then if we need to, you know, till it up or do anything like that in the future, we can. Alright guys, it's exciting. There's not a lot going on. I've been actually like painting my bathroom and doing some random stuff because I know, you know, in a couple of weeks I'm going to plant some tulips, and I'm going to plant just some different stuff around my house for the fall. Maybe dig up some lilies and move them and transplant them. But since this is the first year and we really want to get a good plow and then a till in the spring, I don't really want to plant anything in the fall just because you're going to have all those annual weeds. And so we want to kind of turn up the ground, get rid of the perennial weeds in the fall, do it again in the spring to get rid of some of those annuals, maybe one more time in the spring to get any of the seeds off those annuals, and then, you know, get our fabric laid and hopefully start planting some flowers. Alright, have a great day. One of my little stakes, and then it goes along here, and as you can see there's another stake over there. So this little mowed area is the future home of Marsha's Garden. Okay, so I am back at home right now, and you know, before we had mapped out that entire area, and I had like listed all of the plants that I was going to put in it. We're not doing it there anymore. So now I have remapped the area. So what I do is I just go onto Google, and I go into the satellite view of Google on my computer, and from there I take a screenshot, and then I kind of zoom in, and what I have now, that's like in the light, so what I have now is I've made a plot, and you can kind of see I do use a photo editing software, and I kind of make the background light. But if you look at this, like over here, these are trees, and you can kind of see that, and there's some trees here. So I knew that there would be a little bit of shade here, so I put like my snapdragon in some rows right there. And then of course I have some notes, like after I put this all together, I started thinking about it, and I was like, oh, like the perennials stay every year, so why wouldn't I put them all together? Because then if we have to till some of the land and pull up the fabric on some of the land, we could just skip, you know, the rows that are perennials, and I might have to like weed those manually by hand, whatever the case is. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna redo this again. But as you can kind of see here, I just take and, you know, I put some oregano, I put some of the basil, cilantro, I put some marigolds and things like that on the outer perimeter. There will be a lot of deer that come in. There's up here in kind of the top part of the land, there's a timber, and that timber, they'll probably come in here. And a lot of this stuff is supposed to be deer resistant. I don't know if it will be. It's the first year. Another thing you might notice here, and sorry if this is, I'm just kind of holding my camera weird, but we've got, what I've done is I've kind of marked off, so each bed here, and they look really little, but it's to scale. So this is about a 1/4 acre of land. And so each little bed here is a 10 by 4 area with a 2-foot walkway in between. And then I have a 4-foot walkway all the way around the perimeter. And there's actually kind of a fence around the land right here as well. And then this is just open up into a field. But as you can see, you know, I put some just wild bee feed in here, and I was kind of hoping that would help with the rest of the flowers. And then I just have like my lavender. Another thing that, like the cone flowers and things like that, I do know that those are perennials. And of course I have them right here next to snapdragons, which are not perennials. So I'm going to probably want to just kind of like mix some things and move them and put all of the perennials together, and then I can have one land. And then another thing, each one of these, you know, is 10 by 4, and so up here I have 9 by 9. And what that means is when I create my landscape fabric, each one of these plots, I want to have 9 rows by 9 rows. Okay, so when I create the landscape fabric, I can know that's how many holes. So this winter I can go and create the landscape fabric in a garage or in the shop, and now I know how many feet I need and what it'll be. So here I have 12 by 12, 9 by 9, 6 by 6, and then over here I have that I needed 106 beds, but I have 110. Each row, you know, like we'll have 40 plants in the 12 by 12. And I can go ahead and get that fabric ready so that next year after we get this land already, I can lay out the fabric, tack it down, and be ready to go. But not only that, but this tells me how much fabric I need, right? So it tells me what fabric I need, and so this winter I can go through, create a template, and burn all my holes in the fabric. And hopefully that's not something I'm doing, you know, at the last minute when I'm trying to get these plants in. It's something I can do this winter when I'm trying to grow the little seedlings. But I think there'll be time in all of that. So that's where I'm at today. It's exciting. Sorry, I don't really keep up on the videos. I see a lot of people that do a lot of videos. They do it each day, and I do a lot of things. But I mean, I live life, so I stain my pergola, and I redid my bathroom, and I take care of my yard out here. You can see through, but my hibiscus are actually doing really well right now. And there's the pergola that we just stained. You know, so I do some other stuff. Maybe I could record it, but I really want to create a YouTube channel that goes through the process of creating this flower farm. My failures, I'm going to have to go back to those videos now and say, oh, that was a failure. I picked the wrong piece of land to do all my planning on. But now I feel really good about the piece of land that I have it all laid out on. This is what we're going with. This is what we're going to plow up this year, and we'll see how it goes.